Guess I won't be winning yard of the year this year. It rained again. But the sun's shining. Look at it. Ain't it beautiful? Alright. Here's where we go when we do that. It's pretty daggone chilly out here. Let's just see how bad it is. Oh my goodness. 46 degrees, but the sun is shining. We might need to open the door. Alright, today's charge is my old Trans Am. Remember, I bought this car used with 26,000 miles on it or something like that in 1995. And I starved to death a winter or two to pay for it. Well, I didn't really starve to death because I'm still here, but I got real skinny. You know, ramen noodles. It's cheap, but it ain't got a lot to it. Anyway, she don't run right now. The fuel pump, I believe, is bad because it sat a long time with gas in it, so it's probably gummed up the fuel pump. But it's a real challenge to change the fuel pump in this thing. Unless you cut a hole in the floor, you got to drop the exhaust, you got to drop the differential down at least, or take it out even. It's quite an endeavor. So I think what I'm going to do is just make sure that it's the fuel pump. I'm going to check the relay and the fuse. So let me get after that. Let me open the door here. Try to warm it up. The sun's shining. I got some repairs to do on that trailer too. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I always say this usually. Before I get started, I gotta clean off my workbench. You know, that's the messiest bench in YouTube. So let me do that right quick. And also, I got my wig handy so I can be cool like that. Like the young man on DD Speed Shop. Alright, I just put a battery in it. And I turned the key on, no fuel pump. And here's something else I noticed. There's a fork. Now I don't usually leave forks under the hood. But this, you know, that sort of looks like a mouse been at it, don't it? But it didn't plug in nothing. I think that's a security relay that I had unplugged is what I think. But I could be wrong. Anyways, one of those is a fuel pump relay. And somewhere there's supposed to be a fuse holder under here, which I gotta find. But you can apply power to terminal G of the assembly line communications link up under the dash and see if the fuel pump comes on. So I'm gonna try that right now. What'd you say?
You're going to figure this car out. You just got to follow the steps and procedures.
Oh, baby, you're so encouraging. I feel so much better now.
Great.
That's fantastic. Tell you one thing, though. Seems like the last time I was crawling around up under this dash, I felt a whole lot more comfortable and fit better doing it. I don't know what's up with that.
Can't imagine.
Well, there's no fuel pump action by applying power to terminal G. Let me keep looking. Alright, if I understand this wiring diagram correctly, applying power to the G terminal of the ACL connector would not apply power to the fuel pump if the relay was bad. So, but it would if this fuse was bad, I think. I believe that's the fuel pump relay fuse, which is good. And this is the fuel pump relay, which I have switched out with, I don't know, it's the wiper motor relay or something. So anyway, now I'm going to go turn the key on and see if I hear a fuel pump. I'm betting I won't, but we're going to try. Alright, let's see what happens. I heard a click. I'd say the fuel pump is no bueno, so I may as well get after it. The young man just observed. You observed what? What'd you say?
The gas does not smell like gas. It smells like,
Turpentine.
yeah, that.
Because the gas is turned, and that's probably why the fuel pump ain't no good. Now, there is some ways you can come in here and cut a hole in the floor and all that, but homie don't play that way. So, I'm going to drop the fuel tank. First, it says it's got a half a tank of gas, which is a lot of money these days, a half a tank of gas. And I'm going to try to siphon it out of there. So I stuck the hose in the tank, and the pump, there ain't no gas in it. The fuel gauge says it's got half a tank. What do you say?
Why does your seat vibrate?
Because it has parking sensors. It's highly annoying. But if you push the little button on the above the console that says P, it'll make it stop doing that. So you don't like that? Anyways, she distracted me. Let me gather my thoughts. Thing don't have no gas in it. Now, this is a long shot. But here's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna dump a couple gallons of gas in it. And I'm gonna go eat my burrito for lunch. And then when I come back, I'm gonna put that battery back in it. And I'm gonna turn the key on. I'm gonna have this young man here who wears one of the coolest sweatshirts available.
Extremely comfortable.
Extremely comfortable, warm, and chicks dig it. And he's gonna take a rubber mallet and whack the gas tank while I cycle the ignition a couple times. And we're gonna see if that fuel pump goes to working. I doubt it. I don't think it will. But I'm gonna give it a try. And why am I gonna give it a try?
Because if it doesn't work, you're going to have to do a bunch of work.
Also, I'm a hack.
Oh, yeah.
And you can buy a hat online at MrHeavyChevy.com where it says, support your local hack. That's me. The hack. Did you make sure you wiped your muddy feet all over everything inside there? Alright, now what you're going to do is, when I tell you, turn the key on. And then I'm going to crawl underneath with a rubber mallet and whack the gas tank. Alright, see way up in there? That's the gas tank. So, let's see what happens here. Alright, bud. Go ahead, turn the key on. Turn the key off. Turn the key back on. I don't think my little attempt is going to work. Alright, turn the key off. Alright, come out of there. Keys off?
Yeah.
Alright. Now I'm going to unhook the battery and I'm going to go to work tearing this thing apart. Which is what I should have been doing probably 2 hours ago, but, well, it ain't what happened. Now the young man's been wiring here, and I think he had a wire backwards, but he fixed that. And we got all done. He didn't have any lights at all this time, so I just gently advised him, go ahead and plug that up, and that should help things. This darn car is fighting me a little more than I'm used to things fighting me. Anyways, I got that out. Struggled just slightly. So now I'm going to run the car up and start unhooking the rest of it, which is take the wheels off, exhaust, drop the differential, unhook the sway bar, and all like that. This darn car is fighting me pretty hard on everything. Had to break out the air wrench. The Milwaukee wouldn't get the lug nuts off. These things are tight. Now this bolt appears to be seized in there. I believe I'm going to have to get the torch out. What in the world? It's like working on a Northern car. Man, what an endeavor. Look at this. I just undid the shock. Yeah, junk. Junk. Ooh, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. You just can't have nice things. I bought this car, it was nearly new. And now look at it. The shocks are bad.
Yeah, that was back in 1992.
And the daggone sway bar links bushings are bad. You know, you just can't have nice things.
Don't.
It all deteriorates. It reminds me of something. What does it say? Store up not for yourselves riches on earth where moths and something can get to
Something
them.
like that, but not quite like that.
Okay. It's moths and thieves is what it is. You know, do you think taxes
Store
is
up
a
your
form?
treasures in heaven,
Yeah.
not on earthly things, because they just deteriorate. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
If it wasn't for Fords, our tools would rust.
That's right.
Things are looking up.
Yeah,
You know why?
because...
Because spring's just around the corner.
Oh, wonderful.
I stole
Don't
that.
tell Chevaholic.
I stole that from Chevaholic. Actually, I put that spring around the corner because it come out from right there. And this one here probably come out too. Mm-hmm. Boy, that's a Flowmaster muffler right there. I think I bought that exhaust kit from Summit like 15 years ago or so, maybe 20, for like $150 or something. I had to save up a long time for it. This thing's got the wimpy little rear end in it, but it is posi. See there, spin resistant, diff. It's got some numbers right there. Probably somebody in the know would tell me what gears are in it, but I think it's 323. I might be wrong. Probably am.
I thought you were always right.
Well, except for when I'm not. What else was I gonna say? You know, as much trouble as this fuel pump is, I might as well put an LS motor in it. Maybe not. I am thinking of some things though. I had it in mind for a long time that this car, low miles. I knew it had been wrecked, but I was gonna try to keep it original. The original TPI, all that. Maybe hop it up, but you know what? I think if the transmission or the rear end goes out in this thing, I doubt the engine will, but I'll put an LS motor in it. 9-inch, 4L80E, twin turbo, make her fast. How about that?
That thing was fast.
It wasn't fast. It was fast for 1989, but it's slow by today's standards. Anyways, I ain't gonna get in no big hurry to modify this thing all up because I got plenty of projects. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but I'm not gonna worry about keeping it original. That's what I'm not gonna worry about. See, I'm looking at this thing. Look at that, it's got a dent right there. And then over here it's got an Audi. Something from the inside dented it. You just...
Can't have nice things.
Yeah, what she said.
It needs it really bad.
What?
It needs it really bad.
Needs what really bad?
A paint job.
Well, you're right. Hey, you remember how I said earlier in the video about how homie wasn't gonna cut no hole in the floorboard changing the fuel pump? Homie don't play that game?
Yeah.
Well, guess what game homie's gonna play if I gotta do this again?
Cut the floor.
I'm gonna cut the floor.
That's right. Floorboard.
The biggest reason, though, I did this is because I suspect the tank might be nasty inside. You know, today's gas, you let it sit a while, it gets nasty. So anyway, let's see what we see. Daisy, leave the little lizard alone. He didn't do nothing to you. That's what she does, hunts lizards. So if we ever get into a starving to death situation, we're gonna put her on some lizards.
Look at her.
Until it bites her. It's so funny.
Yeah, you'll see one hanging off her lip. It's so little she can't even get it. Oh, this carnage just for a fuel pump makes you like carburetors a lot better, where you can switch them off the front of the motor real quick. At least it does me. Alright.
This is part of the brake line, right?
That's the emergency brake, which evidently has been rubbing on something.
Yes, and
I don't know if it works still or not. It might. Probably does. Probably does. Anyway, so let's pop open the top of the tank here and have a gander at our fuel pump. Alright. There's the fuel pump. The sender looks just like the ones in an old Chevy truck. Same thing. That's for the fuel gauge. That's the fuel pump. The old sock is dripping a little nasty gas out of it. Anyways, let me get a flashlight and look inside the tank. Ooh, look in there. It's not as bad as I thought it might be. But it ain't as good as I would hope it would be. Need to do some flushing. Need to do some flushing on it, I guess.
the tank is salvageable, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's just got a little gook in the bottom. About to be expected of something that's
I
sat.
want to see.
You want to see? Okay. See?
Oh, yeah.
Here, let me get the camera out the way. You can just gander in there all you want to. Mm-hmm. Gotta have a couple oohs and ahs. Come on, Ron.
Ooh. Ah.
That's what I'm talking about. We're on video here. We're trying to make movies. What do you say, pal?
It's nasty.
Not too bad.
Not nearly as dramatic as your mother.
I thought that it would
for
have
sure.
stuff floating. But it don't.
What's floating?
And nothing. It's just a little, you know, from just sitting there. But it's not floating stuff, so that's a good sign.
That's a really good sign, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta quit here pretty soon because I done been marinating some chicken and some steak. And I've been watching this guy, Cowboy Kent Rollins, on YouTube. And he's got a pretty good quesadilla recipe I'm going to try. So, I've been following his recipes exactly. Well, kind of. Kind of. Anyways, I found out something interesting in this gas tank. You pick it up and you try to dump it out that end, it won't a drop come out. Not one drop. So I look in there and it's got a baffle. I guess that's so if the thing turns over, the gas won't spill out. Which just seems like a good idea. Because I remember when I was a young man, I wrecked a square body Chevy truck and rolled it. And gas poured out like crazy. And I thought it'd be like in the movies, you know, when they roll and they go boom and blows up everything.
Well, you know, at least gas was cheaper back then.
Yeah, but... I think I'm going to pump the gas out of this thing right quick and then go make my quesadillas. Alright, we've got it mocked up there. I know it's going to disappoint 63 Impala, but we're not going to leave those vice grips on there. Alright, mister, put it in first gear.
Wait.
Put it in the middle. Feel it. That's the neutral gate. All the way over and up. You'll get the hang of it. I did. If I can, you can.